Hello world, welcome back to Razor RC. Just want to do a little video on the WideMaxx kit for the Traxxas Maxx. I was really reluctant to pick up this kit and it's been out for about a year. They did make some updates, so they are including the half shafts now for the drive shaft, so it's kind of like a V2 version of the WideMaxx kit. It is something that I did finally decide to buy because for $50 or $55 or whatever it is, it seemed like a pretty reasonable value. Before the V2 version, you did basically have to buy the steel CVAs. That was kind of annoying because that was like $130. So I pretty much put this off until they finally updated the drive shaft kit. And so now I can actually say, it's probably worth the money. So did want to talk about it a little bit, as well as provide some driving footage so you can kind of see how it looks. I put it on my vehicle. I actually have installed two WideMaxx kits now. This is a newer Maxx I did pick up. Overall, the installation is a little bit of time. The second time around, even on a brand new kit, it took me about 2 hours to do the full installation. The first time I did it, I was also cleaning out the car, swapping bearings. It was a lot more work, and obviously I had never done one before, so I would budget at least 2 hours and maybe more on the 3 or 4 hour side if you are doing a lot of cleaning. If you haven't done any maintenance, you will want to check all your bearings while you have the whole car apart. And you will also want to kind of take your time. I would recommend only doing like one corner at a time, so just kind of remove all the pieces, and then as you reassemble it, you can have another reference point on the other side, because if you just tear apart the whole car, you'll lose track of which hinge pin goes where, which way the ball cups are supposed to go, that kind of thing. The other thing is there are some orientations things that you'll have to watch out for. So these steering links actually do have an up and down version. I think out here on the side, there's kind of a flatter spot on the ball cup, or a hollow ball, or whatever you want to call it, and then a longer side on the other side. So double check that before you reinstall it, because you could flip it over upside down. For sure, the hardest part is working on the E-clips on these drive shafts. So I do have a video on how to take E-clips off. You will want to get some needle nose pliers with like a little flat tip. It'll make your life 10 times easier. Fortunately, they also give you a full pack of E-clips in the bag, so if you break one or lose one, it goes flying across the room. It's no big deal. You will have plenty of spares. But now the other thing I would recommend is if you're actually running the hard hinge pins. So I installed the hard hinge pins which don't use those little screws. So for example, you got one here. I would recommend getting maybe like a thin little punch to push it out from the other side, because it can be difficult to get those out. I just use like a little, I think it's like, I don't know, 1/16 inch or something, or 1/8 inch punch just to push that out, because especially if they bend, it is possible to bend those hinge pins, and then they are really difficult to get out. So if you're running those, definitely look into that. You will have to set up your endpoint adjustments as well. I do have a video on how to set the endpoints, but basically when you install the WideMaxx kit, the steering linkages don't turn the wheels quite as far, so you actually have to up the endpoints or dual rate or whatever to get full and maximum steering. Otherwise you'll find probably that the car doesn't turn all that well. You will have a very wide turning radius, so definitely check that out after you install the WideMaxx kit. I don't think it tells you about that in the instructions, but it is something you will want to do to make sure you get maximum steering throw. Even with that, it does not steer quite as well. I would say you probably lose about 25-30% of your steering. You do gain stability, but it is at the cost of steering. So that's kind of the main trade-off you get with the WideMaxx kit. A little bit flatter, doesn't roll obviously quite as much, and but you lose a little bit of steering. So it's kind of a trade-off. The other thing I would say is driving wise, it is much easier to land this vehicle now with the WideMaxx kit, just because you kind of have like a much wider landing pad on how to land this. If you're doing like big jumps and stuff, it is going to land a lot more easily. Probably a little less durability because you've got much more leverage on these arms. So if you land on one corner, it's more likely to kind of bend or break these arms or shocks or whatever. So you lose a little durability, but a little bit easier to drive and land this vehicle. Now, last thing I would suggest is to take a look at the shock oils. They recommend putting 30 weight in the front and 50 weight in the back. To me, that is way too light, even on just on-road type stuff. If you're doing any sort of small jumps or big jumps or whatever, I would actually increase it by about 50%. So I would start with like 45 weight in the front and try like 65 weight in the rear. that's probably a good place to start to get you a decent amount of landing and plushness in the vehicle. So yeah, that's pretty much it. My thoughts on the WideMaxx kit. Check out this running footage. Unfortunately, it was raining, so I did not get a whole lot of runtime, but I did want to share this with you while I had a little bit of the running video. So thanks for watching. Definitely hit the like, share, and subscribe buttons, and look for more videos soon.
Jeez.